Imagine a phone that liquefies into a wristband or furniture that morphs to fit any room. Welcome to Programmable Matter. Hi, this is Warren Whitlock, and this is Emerging Technologies with Warren. Today's topic is programmable materials. It's things that we can't even imagine right now, but with the advent of nanotechnology and its ability to do things at a very tiny scale, magical things start to happen when you control the elements down at the atomic level. One of those things is called making a robot out of it. We've heard about it for such things as they'll be able to put a programmable robot into your blood. And then when it gets to the tumor that it needs to get to, or whatever part needs to do, that it will know to release or can be controlled external through a signal to release things and help so that you kill the cancer and without radiating the whole body. That's one we've heard some about. I tell you, I have a fear, just like most of us, that when you start injecting things, that's pretty bad. And nanotechnology got known for that. But nanotechnology at its heart is a material science. It's getting down to the very, very small world and understanding that the physics there are not like the physics we see in regular life. So, what will happen is something will seem to be self healing or moving around in certain ways. And today would be scary. I like the idea of the dent in a car as a way to use these modular robots. If you are able to control the panel in the side of your car and have it put little robots to work in the material itself, and it's not like they're necessarily you can't see them. It's very small. The idea may just be the chemistry that goes on, but just like we have things like, gosh, when I was a kid, if handled the laundry like I do today, we'd be ironing all day long. But instead, we have these fabrics today that look how well ironed this shirt is. No, it's not. But it was wadded up at one time after I came out of a dryer and hang it on a hanger, and that helps. But for the most part, permanent press means you don't have to do that. Before we had permanent press, absolutely every piece of cloth had to be ironed to be able to wear it. So the materials just there are so much better than where, but when we start doing a smart little like 3D printing, even 4D printing, where the polymers are told what to do, all of this science, you've heard me talk about foldable proteins and all the things that science can do that are on levels we understand, but they're just taking care of this without us knowing about it. And thanks to AI, they're going to get even more things that can do because we'll be able, the AI doesn't know that they're small and can do all sorts of things, move things by making a magnet and then not a magnet, or using a magnet to change things. Thermal, do you warm it up or cool it down? There are some materials now that if you heat something up to the certain temperature, it doesn't melt, it like reforms back to where it was made in the factory, and it knows to do that. Those are just going to get better and better at being able to do things. And so the ultimate that I like to talk about here is the idea of, instead of making your bed, the bed will make itself. And but the thing is, it'll be able to make itself out of whatever is around. So we'll be able to disassemble and reassemble all sorts of elements, a lot less mining, going a lot further, because some of the elements like carbon nanotubes are so much stronger than steel that you use less of it, you use less carbon, it actually builds whatever you want. You can print something that's tiny and then it looks like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It actually, like, you hit it with the right kind of information and it expands, whether that's heat or it gets a signal or whatever it takes, so that you could carry around spare parts. And when you need them, push a button, I guess, push a control or tell it to change size, and it will, and it's ready for you. The actuators that are able to control whether or not something happens. The switches are becoming easier and cheaper to make and becoming things that are in nanoscale rather than just taking what we know to be a switch, which is a pole hitting another pole and switching something on. And when it moves, it switches it off. The basics of physics of switches will work in a different way. It's almost like a combination lock. It can change something and change something. Antennas broadcasting a signal to be able to use with your 6G phone will be able to increase the signal or decrease the signal and send it in different shapes out around to where the phones are. So you can put up a special antenna. I know often I go to a convention center and you'd think it has the best Wi-Fi and 5G and 4G or whatever you're using. And it's always been, they don't work quite as well. Part of it's the construction and the concrete. The other part of it is there's so many people trying to get on the phone at the same time. In a disaster area, the coverage needs change. And then just normal everyday where we have buildings and where we have tower, where people congregate, where are they in traffic on the roads or are they congregated in a building? Do they use a phone at work or there's no phones at the big plant where they work? Whatever that is changes what's needed. And we're going to be able to make safer, controllable materials that'll be cost a lot less. We'll be able to manufacture something like steel or wood or any material, granite, in the same way we can manufacture plastics today. The things that are happening to make plastics good are pretty interesting. And that has to do with some of the same forces. The way that we transform the world because of plastics being in our lives and having the petroleum are just immense. Some of that's like nanotechnology. It's a forerunner to what that's going to be. Everything we make, do, eat can be transformed. And the nice thing is, today we know that you can make a material that obeys software, obeys the rules, doesn't pollute, recycles itself, whatever it is you need. And those are going to be things that we're going to be seeing coming with emerging technology. If you liked this, even if you didn't, do me a favor. No, if you didn't like it, leave me a comment or find me on social media. I'm at Warren Whitlock. Here on the Emerging Technologies with Warren, we do read user comments and we're looking for questions about what to explain next. And when you do, we'll mention you. And so far, there's no way to donate to the show. So that's what you can do. Subscribe, tell your friends about emerging technologies with Warren.